everyone, GreenPanda here and welcome back to another video. And this is terrible for the AI community, but bear in mind, this is the third draft. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and this is like the third time I had to recreate and start from scratch for this video, and I am literally about to lose my shit. If I can find the person who was in charge of creating Premiere Pro, I'm going to find them and punch them in the throat. So other than that though, this video is supposed to be a very neutral, play both sides of the pros and the cons of AI, but right now I've lost my shit, I can't deal anymore, and so the AI community's got to bear the brunt of all my frustration, and I'm just going to bring up all the cons of AI because there's actually no redeemable qualities about AI at all that I've seen so far that can justify everything that's came because of AI. Okay, so to do this quickly, Josh made a video a couple of weeks ago about how he used AI in his workflow, and yeah, no one liked that because majority of his videos previously was basically seeing how against AI he kind of seemed to be. So he said AI can't do this, he was using all this other techniques, blah blah blah, and then he uses Clara, which is a very anti-AI platform, and then he makes a workpiece with AI on it and then puts it on Clara. Like, that just undermines the whole reason why it exists in the first place. Then you also have Yumi, who also uses AI, and here's some screenshots, and basically is all for it, all for technology. But the thing is, the Determined said they didn't like NFTs because they were bad for the environment. AI is also bad for the environment. That's so hypocritical from both of them. And here's the thing. AI bros do not like it when you see AI is bad for the environment, and that's using a reason to like make, you know, it seem bad. But the thing is, it's true. Even the AI developers who are all for AI is like, yeah, we're kind of concerned about this because it's like releasing lots of emissions. It takes up lots of water consumption, and it's very terrible for the environment. What gets me is how advanced software we are, but we're kind of like really behind with technology and hardware. Like laptops, each new installment we get less sockets. Like, what is this? Look what they took from us. Another thing is with iPhones, it's like we get a new iPhone and it's like, what do we get? A new battery and a camera, that's it. Like, there's nothing new you can think technology wise that we can improve, and they're like, yeah, AI, let's just shove this down people's throats. AI doesn't even work, it's completely broken. If you ask it how many R's are in the word strawberry, it can't tell you. If you ask it to make egg fried rice without peas,
ChatGPT, show me fried rice.
Here is a delicious...
Please remove the peas.
Here is the updated...
I still see peas.
Without peas and...
No!
It's been used in medical journals. That's been used as an excuse for how great it is. But it turns out that's not even good either, because it, like, if anything, it's just going to make people lose fear from the medical field because of that. Because if I see this and think students are learning anatomy from this, and I'm going to put my whole health in the hands of a person who used AI to study from, I'm fucked, okay? I'm gonna die. Also, major companies have also sued AI, including Warner Brothers and Mickey, so if they're against it, then what the hell? It's also been used for like very fucked up controversial type things, such as making women naked without the permission using deepfakes. It's really fucked up.
And they had put them through some editing AI program to edit me naked. Whoa. They basically photoshopped me naked.
Also using CP. And so when people say, oh, you're ignorant, you have no idea how AI works because it doesn't steal exactly, it uses numbers, it generates like complete images and re-brings it up through like patterns, etc, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna look into AI, see how bad it actually is. Like, maybe people are going like, maybe people are overreacting and maybe it's not as bad as it is. And so everything I've just listed here, bad for the environment, making CP and making women naked and making revenge porn, and I'm sitting there thinking, what good is AI that justifies everything I've just listed? And it turns out nothing. It's complete shite. And I know people's going to say, oh, that's separate from the actual art part of it. It's like, look, people who are artists can draw photorealistically, okay? So some of the selfies as well as some art portraits get blended together, and so at that point it's like some of the things that we draw that might be a bit, you know, normal and everything, people redraw realistic of people all the time. That's gonna get blended in there, so that's a part of the problem. People also see it's like a camera and artists will be fine. It turns out camera did actually do some impact on the art community, and some of it was really bad. Some people lost their jobs, blah blah blah. And also it does have an impact, and it created abstract art, which leads to stuff like this. yeah, we're going to get more of that. Okay, so the thing is, if you're going to introduce something to an ecosystem, you can't be surprised years later and say, why is some of the wildlife dead? It's like, yeah, because you brought in a foreign object into an ecosystem. That's how it works, okay? So a lot of people do respond to certain things, like when it gets like introduced into an environment, and it has happened before. When it came to modernism, which was future realistic stuff, people went back to traditionalism, which was like medieval Western stuff. It's happened in the past, so people getting upset and seeing that AI is the future is really against being an artist, because it's like, here, being against AI is actually very normal, the way how people were against modernism. Okay, so it's not that bad, and it's not like the end of the world if people don't like AI. My problem is that it's been shoved into everyone's throats, and you have no consent over it, you have no privacy, and you literally have no control over it at all. Because I just opened my laptop up and I had an app called Copilot. I'm like, what are you? And I Google it, it's AI. And I was like, I didn't want you there. Fuck off. And so I had to reinstall it. And I had to uninstall it. And it was ridiculous because I was like, I didn't want it there in the first place. Instagram is like, we're training AI on your shit. And I was like, I don't want that either. I had to fill out a forum. And what's ridiculous is that I had to fill out a survey and it sent me a code. I couldn't find the code, so I can't turn off AI. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to just not use Instagram then. Went on Tumblr, same thing. But at least with that one, I could toggle off. And that's the thing. It's like a lot of like websites are using AI, but why? Like, why are they shoving AI into traffic systems? Why are they putting it in medical journals? Why are they putting it in everything where it doesn't even work? And it gets me. And people's like, oh, it doesn't impact the art community. It has. When it came to some things in the media and everything, you actually had 10 people working on something. Now it's being reduced to 2. Okay, so 8 people's lost their jobs and they're saying there's no impact. Like, come on. In conclusion, it would be great if I could see if you use AI, that's fine. I don't like using it, so we can just exist on this platform. You stay in your corner, I stay on mine. That'll be amazing. You know, if AI wasn't terrible for the environment and wasn't scraped and stolen with all the images that people used. Because at the end of the day, I get that people use it, like so many excuses of why they think using AI isn't problematic. And I'll say this, is that if Disney itself and a lot of big companies went against it and were all for it, even their own stuff, but that's the problem, is that they don't own the stuff that they put in, because everything the artists have created for Disney, they didn't consent to their works being used in something like AI and everything, and it's just ridiculous. So at this point in time, it's like, if any of the artists actually consented to the work being used and there was like a new AI program that was completely wiped clean slate and the data bank was empty, and it was like, oh yeah, we actually use people who consent to it, and if people like change their mind and don't want the stuff in, we can take that out. We can give a list and receipt of every single artist who was used. And yeah, I just think it's completely ridiculous with the way they handled it. It's like they went out of the way just to piss off the entire art community. Because the thing is, we're not being unreasonable. It's like, I just see a lot of companies, indie producers and other stuff that already exists, like royalty-free music, stock images, and other things like that, and public domain, how you even walk outside and you see how businesses are run, and you see that they have rules and things you are and are not allowed to do. So it's ridiculous that when it comes to AI, all of a sudden it's a free-for-all, and that's why people are against it, because they're kind of thinking, no, because like when it comes to real life stuff, you can't just take something and then use it. It's called plagiarism. There is a difference between a tribute, homage, reference, heavy reference, tracing, and plagiarism. Like, you cannot, like, there's rules in place, and we've had them, and that's the reason why artists are so upset right now, is because like we followed them to the best of our ability. When it comes to some videos online, it's like for educational purposes, so it's free to use. And then there's also fan art, which is basically free advertisement for the company, but you cannot profit off of it. I can't make a Mickey Mouse keychain and sell it and get money for that because I don't own Mickey Mouse. There's like systems in place. And the problem is that if there's got to be some indie creators who want to make their own series, like Vizzy Pop with the Has-Been Hotel, she can do that because she's established. But small creators who don't have a big following yet, who's trying to like make their own way, it's going to be 1,000 times more difficult for people like that to get their own brand aboard, and it's completely ridiculous. So yeah, other than that, I don't really love AI. If you use AI as a reference, that's fine. If you generate it, I will judge you heavily. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!